Hello, people of the world of the internet watching videos that have to do with automobiles. Welcome to this, my 74 RA21 Toyota Celica ST, powered by a Toyota Tundra 2UZ VVTi V8. In the previous video, I was in the process of this.
A cut and buff, or the process of removing some or all of a paint's orange peel, the texture you see on the paint's surface, which normally wouldn't be too difficult considering I'm using high quality sandpaper. However, I also used top shelf paint products as well, which are extremely hard. And I mean that in the physical sense, which can be defined by Mohs hardness scale. At the bottom you have talc, gypsum, and fluoride. Yes, the stuff you put in your teeth is actually a pretty rock. Moving up along in the scale, you reach quartz, followed by topaz. Who would have thought 33 years in the future that would go so hard? And at the top of the scale, you have none other than diamond. And just when you thought I couldn't get any harder, this clear coat exists. Which is obviously a good thing because that means the paint is that much more durable. This is way more durable than the paint that comes on 99% of new cars that I review on a regular basis. 99.999%. Heel. Yeah, so that little tiny bit of video you just saw all chopped up was about an hour and 20 minutes worth of work. But I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor. You can probably get a good idea now with this angle with the LED light, the amount of orange peel I have left. It's just very kind of muted like a calm sea now, and that's what I was going for. Cleanliness is key when you're doing the final stages of polish because one little dirt nib or piece of trash gets on the paint and then you hit it with the polisher, you're gonna be starting from scratch. Literally. I found if I spritz a tiny bit of water with the wool pad and the polish that it makes it last longer and it cuts the dust down. Definitely recommend that. So now I can see my dirt nibs a little bit more. This is my dirt nib denibber. It's a rubber bushing and a tiny piece of 2000 grit. See that little dot? That is a dust nib. There's actually more than one. Now I'll just go back over them with some 2500. Get rid of the 2000 grit marks, 3000 on the DA wet. Now the type of abrasives that I'm using to do this can be used wet or dry, and it's not something you'll find in an auto parts store. Some dedicated paint and auto body parts stores carry this brand. However, I ordered it online because it is manufactured in Japan without giving away free advertising here.
I found when you're doing either body work, paint correction, or detailing, the best way to make the job go fast is to do the biggest panels first, Pareto principle it, because then you just got little quick things and it just goes by super fast when you're the tiredest. That's not healthy.
For the same reason why you don't want to rush when you wipe after you go to the bathroom, you don't want to rush when you're taking sandpaper to the expensive paint job on your vehicle. You'll have the same results at the end. I'm spending about 2 to 3 hours per body panel to take it from the first sandpaper all the way to step 2 polish.
Top off this little thing of water, keep the ants out. But yeah, it looks like the hummingbirds have been drinking it. They drank half of it already. Magic. It's the following day. My life has become one of a sander. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the middle of the night last night and my hands were pulsating. I thought I was like having a stroke. I don't know if that's actually what happens when you have a stroke, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. And then I decided to WebMD it, and then I had a panic attack. Don't ever WebMD what's wrong with you at 3 o'clock in the morning.
The only way it could get worse is to take a long bath and have vibrating wrinkly hands.
Fucking perfect. I'm using the straight bar lights I have all over the wall to kind of see what my paint looks like, but as a final inspection, nothing beats using an actual blah, 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 shiny, blah, 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 more shiny, blah, 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 less shiny, blah, 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 polish more. That's ready for step 2, blah, 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 polish less. We can all agree the only part that is really appealing, but also the steps getting there is kind of fun. This is fun work to do. Tedious, but fun. I don't want to get schmoo all over my engine more than I probably already did. I don't want my engine bay to look like that. Engine bays aren't as easy to clean as a windshield. These will get the job done. A stinky blankie and a dirty microfiber. Drape that over there. Good enough. I am going to listen to music whilst I do this, and I will provide for you the playlist I make on Spotify to enjoy.
In fact, there's multiple playlists I have made on Spotify for you guys. I'll put the link in the video description below. I get nothing out of this other than purely a satisfaction of making you all mixtapes for free.
I feel like I get a panel done and then I do another one and then I sling crap all over the one I just did and then it looks like crap again. Because the last video I did on this car was literally a lot of what I'm doing in this, I'm not even time-lapsing this stuff, I'm just making it go by faster for you, which sucks for me. Have you ever wondered if ants like wasabi? Yeah, that seems to be a healthy ant mound. Here you go. This is for you. Here you go. So you just punched it and ran off? Excuse me, would any of you guys be interested in a ball of wasabi? Here on Animal Planet, Sarah sticks a ball of artificial wasabi into a ant mound to see if ants like spicy. They go up for a bite and then they contemplate their life choices and then they immediately retreat. More on this developing story later. I'm starting to get lightheaded from blowing on panels so much, said no porn star ever. 3,000 dry just because this area is really tight. This little sideshow bob hair looking polishing pad is intended for a 3-inch polisher and it's unmarked, so I have no clue what. Luckily I have some on order, they'll be here tomorrow morning. This thing's nice and quiet, that's what I like about it. Yep, this pad is essentially useless. In case you're not aware of shapes and numbers, a 9-inch polisher is not going to fit in that section. I don't know how many minutes of this video has elapsed already, but I can tell you that it has been 2 days just in this video alone of sanding and polishing and sanding and polishing and polishing and sanding and sanding and polishing and polishing and sanding. There's another car that needs lots of sanding and polishing and polishing and sanding and sanding and polishing and body working. This should be, yes, some product. Mysterious made in elsewhere pad can be removed. And I can stick the good on here. A little splatter shield, not that it really matters at this point. Take this off. Not that it would really hurt stainless steel trim, but this pad works good, I can already tell. Now this is not a rotary, so I'm gonna have to lay into it a little bit heavier. Peel that off so I can get up on close. Man, I really need a 1-inch polisher to get up close to that stuff. It's gonna take a rotary to get that area. You gotta be super careful with heat with this thing. Periodically check. Still good. Still good. Still good. Switch out. The way to alleviate this issue is just not to wet sand so close. That was a little bit of a goof on my part. I only have 4 days, that's 3 fingers, to make this video for you guys because I upload you 2 videos per week and my car reviews take 2 days to film, these take 4 days to film, and then I have a day of editing. Oh, I got really good lighting on this side. One of my favorite jobs to do is one of the hardest to build a film. Well, not that again. 2000 grit. It's a soft pad and I'm using an interface, a little overkill. $2,500 asshole axe. And now I can see the stippling of the peel that is left. I don't know why I'm compelled to speak to the vehicle like Bob Ross painting a painting when I'm doing this, but I just have the urge to do it. I don't know what I'd say. The next car I'm reviewing just got dropped off and man, this is a weird one. I don't know, I'm just excited about it because it's a weird one. It's 3:26 in the afternoon. I have the whole car in either 3000 grit or polish. Time to make like a sausage and I don't know what I was gonna say there. I think I breathed in too much dust. The sharp edges that I've been protecting from getting sanded, I use a little tiny interface in 3000 and I just kind of blend the 2 areas together. I've been raw dogging it all day with no music playing. that can't happen anymore.
Now, even though I'm not filming this and putting it in the video, I am going over everything on the lower half of the body line of the car in a step 1 polish, which is designed to remove up to 1,000 grit sand scratches, and then following it up in the step 2 polish.
If you're watching this right now and you wash your vehicle in one of those automatic car washes with the pool noodles of doom that slap the side of your vehicle covered in soap and dirt off other people's cars, I want you to know just how much catastrophic damage you are doing to your vehicle every single time you run it through one of those. So this is where I get super critical. Oh yeah, I have 2,500 grit little hairs, couple there, and then the rest is just 3,000 grit marks. Step 2 requires a foam pad. This one is less abrasive than the wool, and the purpose of step 2 is to get rid of any little fine swirls that the wool pad caused. That kind of looks like little rainbow streaks right there. Those will all go away along with fine hairline defects. Feels weird calling it step 2 because I've had like 10 other steps before this. I guess it's step 2 with polish. Slap that purple. This is the point in time where you really don't want to get a little dirt nib or something on your pad because you'll cry. I don't care if you're a grown-ass adult, you'll cry. I use a little bit of water because it helps cut dust down. That's insane! I know the camera, it all looks like gold paint, but step 2, the depth. There's so much depth to it now. You can see all the metal flake and the pearl layer.
All of this effect that I just got super excited about is the stuff that you are missing out on your car's finish if you run it through automatic car washes, because that ship will sail after like 1 or 2 washes.
Good morning. Today's developing story here on Sarahntuned News. We're investigating whether or not ants actually like wasabi or if it is merely a placebo effect. You have a microphone up your ass, so I wouldn't be talking. And after 48 hours, it appears that what happened to that thing?
I don't think that's actually wasabi. No wonder they didn't like it.
Oh, really? Yep, I apologize.
Per the request of the ant, I will remove the, oh my god, it's hard as a rock. We actually consume this stuff.
I got here early this morning and I knocked out the rest of step 1 on the entire nose of the vehicle. There's some product still on there. I didn't wipe it, but it is free of any little hairline swirls, marks.
It's funny I say that, because when I put the hood down, I ended up seeing a spot that I missed and ended up taking that corner of the hood all the way back down to 3,000 grit and redoing it because I wasn't satisfied of 2 tiny pigtails nobody would ever see.
Get to do something different because I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't. Hardware. My shop is an absolute disaster right now. Please don't judge me. Now I have to decide which side I want my badge on. This right here is the badge off of the tailgate of my dad's old Tundra, which the engine came out of. It has to go on the car. It has to go with the engine. The chrome is not in the greatest shape on it because the truck had 190,000 miles and it lived in New Hampshire, but patina is patina. Whatever that means. You know, that'll do. It's got a little bit of patina to it. Chrome's not perfect, but it is also 20 years old, so that works. I don't know if this is gonna work, but it might. In this little snackle box for robots is a hot stapler. I don't know if any of these are gonna be the right shape. There are 3 holes in this strip, and it is roughly 5 millimeters or 1/4 of an inch thick. Basically, it's gotta sit. I think that looks better. This is the thickest safety wire I have. Stainless steel, aircraft grade safety wire. This stuff might be a little too thick to heat up. I only got 1 shot at this because there's only 1 original badge to this truck. How the hell am I gonna do this? Put my homemade staple in there. Let's see if this works. Okay, it didn't go through. Well, that's a lot stronger than I thought it would be. I'm gonna be absolutely astonished if this actually works because I just totally made this up out of my head. I'll be able to stagger this thing. That should hopefully make it stronger. This will go through this hole. Haha, that might actually hold it when I put some adhesive on there. In order to accommodate much needed double-sided adhesive for the long I-force portion, there was a slight design change. If there's nothing holding this side down, then it's just gonna flop and eventually break off. And it's really hard to adhese this to that little ribbed strip. Then clean up some acetone.
3M adhesive, you could argue, might be a little overkill, but why not?
This is the backing to the original ST badge, like that. Oh shit, this stuff's really sticky. Yeah, that looks nice and centered. Flip it upside down. There, that's tied nice and tight. The spot I originally was gonna put the V8 emblem is where the little dragon jewel goes. I love the intricacies of this grille and the fact that it was designed to all be taken apart and restored. Like, that doesn't exist anymore on cars. So you can see I tensioned the safety wire left to right against each other, so that's pulled tight and it can't slip off. And then instead of putting the ST badge back on there, which I have one on the rear of the car, the V8 badge goes right there. Slip the top in. Yeah. Man, I literally got that so perfectly that it like slips in snug. I can't believe that. That's luck. I was really nervous about putting this badge on the grille because it is the only thing on the exterior of this vehicle that is not period correct. Other than maybe the big brakes that you can see through the wheel, but the wheels are period correct. Before I tighten this down, I need to make sure I can put it all together this way, because I don't know if I have to take the bumper off to get the, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That's the only way you can do this. You gotta loosen the bumper, then this can go in. Taking into consideration that that valance isn't tucked under the bumper, I gotta pull the whole bumper off to be able to do that. At least you get an idea. I know I'm normally super hypercritical on period correctness, but I had to do this. This is a nod to where that engine came from. And more importantly, when someone sees this thing driving through a parking lot and they hear the rumble of the V8 and they see that I-Force badge in front of the V8, they know it's a Toyota engine in here, not like an LS swap. Since everything from the windshield forward is in step 2, everything back there is still step 1. And for obvious reasons, because this is a really messy process. Yeah, and this wax residue isn't the easiest to come off. I'm gonna have to scrub the car, which then in turn puts slightly more swirls on it. I don't wanna assemble any more trim that has potential for wax residue spray to get all over it. Like my flares that look like a chalk addict sneezed on them. I obviously don't wanna, that didn't make much sense, did it? I don't know why you'd eat chalk. I mean, I guess if you had heartburn, that's essentially what Tums are. You're just eating chalk. I wonder if you could write on a chalkboard of Tums. But yeah, next video, finish up the back half of the polish. It's ready for ceramic and I can install all of the accessory trim details. I gotta get to editing this video. Well, obviously I already did because you're seeing this right now on time. Hopefully you did. Bye.
Squid, did you take a poop and then drag it out of the litter box and start playing with it like a soccer ball on the floor? Yeah.